Hi guys, welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne, and on this channel I share things to do with childhood sexual abuse awareness. I share things to do with my story, my journey of coming through the other side of childhood sexual abuse. I also share news stories and add my thoughts and commentary to them. And from time to time on this channel I do interview survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness about this childhood trauma. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you like the content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So guys, please forgive me. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. As I've explained, this year has been really kind of difficult in terms of time to do videos and create content, just because of me studying my master's degree. I'm in my last year, and also working and trying to raise a family and doing all these different types of things. So I hope that you can bear with me until I can upload videos. I really do appreciate your support, because this subject, this topic of childhood sexual abuse, even in 2023, is still so hard to address. It's still such a taboo subject, so any support that you give, even in subscribing and liking these videos, really does mean a lot to me. So today I just wanted to share with you something that I reflected on recently, and that is I have now been 4 years therapy free. And I realized this actually because the other day I was invited to do a talk at Greenwich University to students, master's students in their final year of doing their social work degree. And one of the things I kind of realized from a question that was asked by one of the students is that actually I haven't been in therapy for a number of years. Now, that might not be a big deal to people, but it is a huge deal to me. I started my therapy journey at 13 years old when I was first taken into care. And my last bout of therapy, the last time I was in therapy, was at 42 years old. Now I'm now 46 years old, so you can do the math. You can see that from the age of 13 to 42, that is a long time to be in therapy. Now, I must say that my therapy journey was in fits and starts. It was on and off. Basically, it was when I needed it, or if something would come up, like I'd work through something, I'd be fine, I'd finish therapy, and then I would have a memory or something that would come up, and then I would have to go back to therapy. So I was in therapy on and off over those years, as and when was needed. Now, I had different types of therapy, and if you look on this channel, I've talked about therapy in all different types of ways and forms, and I've had different types of therapy over my therapy journey. I've had, my first very kind of introduction to therapy was at 13 with a psychiatrist when I was taken into emergency care. I've had group therapy, I have had psychotherapy, I've had CBT, I've had just regular counselling. And I've said to you recently in my last type of video when I mentioned therapy, that one of the best therapies that helped me was the mixture of having psychotherapy incorporated in with Christian aspects, because as I've said throughout different videos, I'm a born again Christian, and my faith in Jesus Christ has been the foundation for which everything else has been built on. So to be able to have therapy that incorporated maybe prayer and aspects of God's word alongside traditional psychotherapy elements was hugely beneficial to me. And in general, psychotherapy for me was my number one therapy. So I've learned a lot about myself through therapy, and therapy has been a really safe space for me to really be a vulnerable person, to share my secrets, to share things that were troubling me, things that I'd never told anybody before. Therapy has really provided that place for me, and I've learned a lot about myself. And just sitting down the other day and just reflecting on a couple of things I learned about myself, I learned that actually, far from being a weak person, I'm actually a strong person. Another thing that I learned is that my experiences don't define me, and that I had a choice to whether to allow my experiences to define me. Also as well, I learned that a lot of things, a lot of kind of perceptions I had about my abuse and about myself, about my identity, weren't true. because they were based upon the lies of my abuse. And throughout therapy, I was able to unpick and unlearn lots of damaging thinking about things I thought about myself because of my childhood experience. I've learned as well through therapy that, you know, I could be the person that I wanted to be, and using the different tools and resources that my different therapists had given me over the years, I was able to start to build up my identity of the person that I wanted to be, and discover who I really was underneath all the kind of different things that I'd experienced in my childhood. And that's been an amazing thing. As I shared again in another video, you know, I believe that I am the person that I was always supposed to be by the grace of God. I no longer identify myself by my experiences of going through childhood sexual abuse. I managed to do that probably about 9-10 years ago, and then I was able to kind of work through the last parts of that. I don't see myself as a victim. I don't even really see myself as a survivor. I just see myself as Yvonne. Yvonne that's had difficult experiences in life, and I've been able to kind of thrive in the face of adversity. I think I've become more reflective as a person. I'm not as emotional as I was. I used to be somebody who was so emotional about everything. I was also a very reactive person. I'd react first, and that had come from earlier on in my journey from like 13 onwards, where I had a really bad temper. I would get myself into situations by reacting first and not thinking about, you know, why it affected me or why I was reacting like that. I have become a less reactive person, a more reflective person, and I think that's really benefited my life. It feels great to be therapy free. But if I had an issue that came up that I needed to work on, I would definitely go back. Because for me, therapy has been part of my personal development. Some of you may not know, I am a personal development coach. I'm an empowerment coach. I'm a trainer through my company, Yimi Empowerment. I will leave a link to my personal development YouTube channel down in the description box below. You know, I write books on personal development and do different things like that. And therapy for me has been a core part of that journey to help me to develop into the person I am today. If I needed to go back, I would go back to therapy. I have no shame in doing that. Going back to therapy even after 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, I wouldn't see that as a setback. I would see that as a continuation of me just working on myself. That's what I would do, really. I am thankful that for the last 4 years, you know, I have not been in therapy, and I think that is a major sign of improvement when you think I was in therapy for like on and off for like 30 years. Well, 23, 30, yeah, 40, yeah, just over 30 years on and off. You know, it is an amazing achievement, you know, and it's a sign that a lot of things have changed for me. So I just want to finish this video by saying to those of you who may be feeling a little bit tired of therapy, if you're in therapy and have found that, you know, you've had to go back again because something's come up again, or you've been in therapy for a long time, or, you know, you just feel like, you know, what's the point of going to therapy? I want to encourage you to continue in your therapy for as long as you need it. If you've got a really good therapist and you're working with them, and you may be working with them for a long time, you know, continue to do that until you see the results or feel the breakthrough that you want. There is no shame for being in therapy, you know, or there's no shame in being in therapy for a long time. It's for as long as you need it, until you feel that you can get a breakthrough in whatever things that are challenging you. If you haven't been to therapy before and you're thinking of considering it but you're not sure, do check out my other videos. I will leave links to them in the description box below about what to look for in a therapist, what kind of things to ask. But, you know, do give it a try. Therapy is something that will help you to move forward in your life. If you are stuck or still dealing with the trauma of childhood sexual abuse, if you feel that you're stuck and you feel that, you know, you just keep falling back, but you haven't sought any kind of support to help you, then I would say do try and see if you can find a therapist to support you. Remember, the key thing that I always say is that please do make sure, if you've gone through childhood sexual abuse, that they do have training and understanding in child sexual abuse trauma, because the last thing you want is to be triggered by a counsellor that has no idea about how to support you in this, and you end up leaving their sessions triggered, upset, and, you know, that's not really a good thing. But I just want to share that with you, my little bit of news that I kind of reflected on, and I will definitely see you in a video again soon. Take care.